Hello and welcome to day 83 of the 365-day meditation challenge, where I challenge myself to meditate for 1 hour a day in 2 sessions of 31 minutes. This is session 2, and I'm still trying to elaborate and expand my energy levels, even though it feels a bit clunky and a bit hard to do. I cannot English properly in this state, in this manner of speaking, or whatever you want to call it. I do not know how to call it because I do not have time to think. And that's the weirdest part of this whole idea, this whole way of expressing myself. You do not have time to speak. You don't oh well, you do have time to speak, but you don't have time to think about whatever you are going to say, which is very, very, very crazy. And of course, it's also a bit more boring, in fact, just because it's more to do with emotions, with transmitting and being a more charismatic fellow, but it doesn't have enough substance. It's not as logical as another thing. It does have a lot more confidence and laser focus on the subject at hand, but it doesn't have the depth, you know? I can basically speak about the fact that I was just putting some steaks into the air fryer, and that's going to be the subject, and that's an easy subject. But if I spend a bit more time and talk a bit softer, I can elaborate on a better subject. Let's say talking about diet, about the fact that sometimes all the diets that you want to do are not good just because you cannot stick to them. A good diet is one that you can stick to. So, yeah, that's the surface level of understanding that I can put forward in this energy. But I know that if I continue down this path, I will not only create the skill necessary to keep up with the thinking and also be able to speak properly in front of the camera with this amount of energy. Not only that, but I will also expand it and be even more confident and energetic, while at the same time bringing that subject, that depth that I know that I can bring to the table, bring it into this level of energy. If I can combine, if I can marry the two, then I can easily be a bit more charismatic. Hey, hi. Let's start the meditation right now. And there you go, the meditation is over. I was thinking that speaking this way and gathering this much energy into myself and expanding it outwards has created something. I've noticed it. I've noticed it in these thoughts that I have, in the quality of thinking that I have. I'm more decisive, which is very interesting, and I really, really want to be unstoppable, to have enough skills and enough momentum and enough energy to be really unstoppable in whatever I'm doing, in the things that I'm doing, and getting a lot more energy, because I think that by speaking this way and gathering this energy and giving it away to the camera, I am actually building more of the same energy. I am getting energy. It's interesting because I like my mind feels expansive. It is impossible to be not present whenever emoting and getting your energy so much in the outside world. It's really impossible to be in your mind. It's you are present. You become this whole idea, this whole video, this whole talking in front of the camera has become sort of like a meditation. Even if in like what? It's been 10 repetitions since I've started to really expand more into this high energy. And it's interesting because it is truly impossible to be outside the present moment whenever you are doing 100 miles an hour and speaking with so much energy and focusing on lasering in on the lens of the camera. Even though to be able to do this, to be able to expand so much energy, I do have to lower my judgment. I have to lower my standards just so I can emote and focus on the energy and not on the content. I'm not focusing on the content, on the quality of the content yet. I will be focusing on the quality later on when I can do it, when I have the feeling that I can do it. Because right now it's being way more difficult to just keep up with the speed that I'm talking with and the energy. So I have to focus on both the energy and the speed and the cadence of my speech. It is quite difficult to do, but in time, with time, I will become better. I will become unstoppable. And I really think that I've stumbled upon something very crucial here. If I can really gain more energy by being in this state, I can train my mind to be in this state and then to expand so much energy and not feel exhausted afterwards, because I don't feel exhausted afterwards. In fact, I feel high. I feel a bit energetic. I feel pumped. It is not really draining me of energy. So it doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel draining. It doesn't feel exhausting. But that's only because I don't judge myself. If I would judge myself and I would put this emotion of judgment and frustration because I'm not getting to the points that I want to I want to get to, and I do not find the proper words, the fancy words that I want to use. I do not find the ideas that I want to relate and expose. I don't know if expose was the best word there, but I'm not focusing on that. I'm lowering the standard and the judgment because this is just a repetition. Just like the meditation is just a practice that I do every day, this will be another practice that I put on top of the meditation and all the videos that I'm making in order to get better at being more alive. I think it's such an important thing, and I lack that thing. I lack being alive. I have energy, I feel nice, but I don't feel like, that expansive, that energy, that aliveness, that just beauty of life and energy. I don't feel it. I don't feel as if I'm a kid again. But if I do this, I've noticed that I'm like sparkling, like really like bubbling, frothing at the surface, like giggling, almost like I get more into my hands and body, and I start to feel these sensation onto my legs and my arms and my. It's interesting. It's super super interesting. I can find my voice. I can resonate with my voice and my. I can see and feel it at the same time as I am speaking, as I'm emoting and expressing myself. So that's the interesting part over here. It does feel a bit kind of like at the beginning of the challenge of the channel where I felt as if it was performative. But it doesn't really feel that performative. Like in the beginning of the channel and the other channels that I have, the first videos felt so performative. I was trying to, do a performance, even though the levels of energy would not be even at the normal levels that I'm not doing right now, but like a week ago. It wasn't even there. And then slowly I got better and better at speaking, better at formulating my ideas and putting them together into coherent, like jumble of words that made a bit of logic. But that was just by lowering my standards and doing over and over and over and over again for 600 videos, just speaking in front of the camera. That is what got me to a level where I can speak in front of the camera without the the ahs, the you know what, and whatever else. But the point is that now I'm trying to get to another level. And to do that, every level that I had until now in my speech pattern, in my video making, and whatever else. I'm repeating this whatever else a few times. It's interesting. But every level that I had to go to felt a little bit performative. It didn't feel fake. It just felt a bit performative. It felt like I was trying to get there. But then at some point it stopped being feeling like that. And also the key important ingredient that I had in reaching a new level was the fact that I lowered my level, lowered my standards and my judgment. That was the key element that got me to be a bit more expansive and get more energy and be a bit more coherent in my speech. I know that right now I'm not really speaking properly and I'm not really focusing on the depth of the idea. I'm just relaying as raw of a material that I can. But slowly I'm noticing the words that I'm picking up and distracting myself with, and not even distracting myself, but more like impressing myself with the words that I'm really coming up with, and they just fill the space. They just fill the room with with beauty, even though they are clunky and not really, they don't really have a logic most of the time. But it's fun and interesting to speak like this and to emote to this level. I'm noticing a bit of throat issues, so that's gonna be interesting to notice if it changes. But yeah, way more different and a bit more intense, and it is getting me a bit closer to where I want to be in terms of energy, in terms of feeling like I'm alive. Thank you for watching and see you tomorrow.